This is the infinite wisdom of the American leaders that have been going on for a long, long time, okay? Never ending cascades of shit. That, by the way, just lead to a bunch of caskets with a bunch of dead people. So they buy into this Bible bullshit, okay? The overflowing people on opposite shores need and deserve a place to live. And so they dump them all into the United States. I don't really know any other country that has ever in the history of man allowed such things to transpire, but here in the United States. And I'm going to get to the crux of where it all came from, the stemming crux of it all. So they bring them through. Either the church pushes them through, okay, under some biblical nonsense and belief, or they enter freely because there's no borders. I mean, like, have you ever looked at the number of military installations that no longer exist in the United States? That ought to clue you in. So then they come through illegally, and then they recognize at a later point in time that they have a severe overpopulation of illegally entered individuals into the United States. And they don't have enough manpower to actually deport them, okay? Because let's face it, the United States government is weakened at the knees by the local authorities and how they operate with their own people in their own community. They're very extremely weak individuals, not only in the mind, but in knowledge. They are lacking, okay? True knowledge. So these people are here, large quantities, illegally entered, allowed entrance because of decision making already made by the American people to get rid of solid structures of protection for the people, okay? So then they hire a bunch of people to say, okay, well, we're going to make them legal to make the rest of the people feel comfortable that they're here, okay? So they create this application process. And then at some point in time in the application process, the people they're processing takes over the application process. All right? So as they come through, they tell them, they plant these fucked up seeds that in their heads, and they carry it through, okay? So they tell them that they now have a new American name with a new American birth date. Here's your social security number, which is your identity. Here's your license. You don't need to go through the course. Don't worry about it, okay? And then they tell them, you are legally a citizen of the United States of America. You have all the same vested rights as all people, even the ones that were naturally born here. And so they never have to go through the struggles that the rest of us went through, the ones that were born here, okay? They never have to deal with the idiocracy of the bureaucracy associated with the American education system. Never. Okay? And even if they carry children through, their children are automatically sanctioned and protected under their illegal rights that become now their rights, all right? They never have to work in factories. They never have to pull themselves up by their hamstrings and work the duplicate jobs and the number of jobs that we already worked before they ever got here. They never have to go through college and raise kids and work at the same time, because that shit we already did that they have yet to do. They never have to serve in the United States, any branch of the United States military, because that's what we already did that they have yet to do. They never have to build a structure of protection for their children and try to maintain stability with ongoing income because they're new. And that's what we already did. But we're not protected. But they are. Upon application, they're immediately protected. But we were never protected, but they're now protected. And then going forward, they're garnished with every amenity, including civil service jobs, where they have a say and a say-so on how things are, money coming down from Congress gets divvied out and managed under these programs. That thing's been going on forever. They get to acquire all these things. Shit, if they want your birth date, I bet at some later point in time, the American government just gives it to them. If they want your identity, they go, oh, sure, you can have that person's identity. Oh, you want their children? Oh, sure, you can have their children. Oh, you want their house and their livelihood too? Oh, sure, you can have that because you're vested in all these new rights because you're an American citizen under the new America laws. That shit pisses me off. That I was never afforded any type of right or standing in this country. But these boatloads of people can come here and they get it all. And I know I'm not alone because I know a lot of people have worked in factories, worked for less than, look, I made like $3 an hour. Now I'm making $2.50 at a delivery. I've really come a long way, huh? I used to make $3 an hour out in South Dakota. $3 an hour, that was minimum wage. And now I make $2.50 a delivery. I've really come a long way, baby. With all that education I'm carrying around, that fucking military, stupid ass fucking enlistment that I said bye-bye, see you later, catch you later. Never want to be on that wavelength or frequency ever again. Don't ever even put me in that category. That's the crux of all crux. Because these people that come through, they start attacking the strength and they make the country weak. And then once it's on its beckoning knees, that's when they have control.